Greetings, fellow prospectors. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to the first episode of a new series covering Icarus's newest DLC, which adds the Elysium map. If you would like to skip the game's overview, details about this series, or the setup of my character, please use YouTube chapters. Icarus is an open-world survival game where you're a pioneering prospector on a world that failed to fully terraform. Exotic resources are strewn across the planet, and you're tasked with surviving down on the surface and sending and selling resources back up to orbit. The planet harbors incredibly violent weather and is swarming with apex predators and massive monsters. And I'll be playing the Elysium map, which is added by the newest Dangerous Horizons DLC, which released about 2 weeks ago or so. I'll be playing on single-player hard difficulty in an open world of Elysium with arachnophobia mode turned on. I wiped my entire account, so I don't have any currency or bestiary data. I don't even have a character yet, but I will be boosting my character up to level 30, which is an in-game thing. Basically, Elysium is a hard map, and once ever you can boost your character, so I'll be doing that. Because starting at level 1 would be grueling and pretty terrible. The ultimate goal of the series is to become a Raptor breeder oil baron. Yes, I know, weird, right? And I'm going to try to minimize save scumming and cheese. So the plan is to build up tech and then rush to the oil fields. Let's get going. So, create a quick character. Because I don't have one. Here we go. Little that, little this. Yeah, he looks about as tired as I feel. And done. Now, when you start playing Elysium, new, this tells you about the 3 world types: missions, open world, and outposts. I'll be doing an open world of Elysium, and here it goes. Elysium promises to be one of the toughest challenges yet. Don't enter it if you're under level 20. And once ever, you can boost a character to level 30 and get 250 currency and 25 exotics, so let's boost. Which now means that my character is level 30, as you can see in the top left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend some talents right off the bat, so that I'm landing with some skills. So I'm going to get 1 of lumber yield, 3 of dense packing for more carry weight, and then 1 of wood breakdown to be able to turn wood into sticks. And that is essentially my resource tree. Then let's go over to exploration. Exploration tree, I'm going to get Robust Explorer for health and Swift Survivor for move speed. Heading over to the hunting tree, I'm going to get Chase Him Down for stamina, Strong Soldiers for movement speed when carrying, and health bars. Health bars are pretty crucial in my opinion. And then the cooking and farming tree. I'm going to pick up 2 of Green Thumb and 1 of Filling Meals, 3 of Lasting Long Food Effects, and 3 of Stamina. I'm going to pick up 2 of the Bumper Crop for Planted Crop Yield, 1 of Fresh is Best where crops will not wither, and then finally Food Pyramid, 1 space in Stomach. So, we have 16 points left. In the Habitation tree, in the combat tree, I'm going to start investing in bows. So, arrow movement speed when you're holding a bow, and then damage, and then more damage, and then arrows, or bows rather, have more health. Then down here, we're going to go with crit damage, 1 of hindering shot, and then 3 of supply and demand. Supply and demand makes the arrows that you self-make do more projectile damage. And that is all of my regular talent points, all spent just now, right? All right, over to the solo tree. I'm going to rush towards Lone Wolf so I can level up faster, but also get fleet-footed and 'Tis But a Scratch. And there we go. That's my entire solo tree. So I've picked up health regen, stamina regen, a little extra wood and ore, wood or stone, carry weight, physical resistance, move speed, and then XP gain. There we go. That's the trees I wanted. Now, before I deploy to surface, I also want to spend my currency that I was awarded. And what I want to do is I want to get a survival backpack, which gives move speed, inventory slots, fall, damage resistance, sprain duration reduction, and then I'm going to craft one, so I physically have it. Alright, then in the envirosuits, I'm going to unlock the first envirosuit, and the second envirosuit. And then in order to make this envirosuit, I'm going to need 25 more Ren. So I'm going to sell exotics of 5 of my regular exotics to be able to craft the S5X envirosuit. And then the rest of the exotics I have would only net me 55 Ren. Or, sorry, 50 Ren, which is really not enough to do anything with. But that's what I'm going to do in the workshop, is I'm going to start with an envirosuit and with more slots. And then start with the survival backpack. And I'm doing all this here because doing it once I'm landed on the surface would be... I would have predators trying to kill me as I'm, like, adding talents. It would be a nightmare. Alright, now back to Elysium. I'm going to create an open world on hard. We'll call this stream, because I'm very creative. Custom world settings. Arachnophobia is on. And... mission structure cleanup. Basically, this is a new option. It removes mission structures after the mission completes, so it's not just like debris there. And that sounds good to me. Alright, we're going to claim this prospect. I'm going to bring down my suit that I paid for. And then bring down the survival backpack in my drop cargo. I'm not going to bother with insurance. And in Elysium, there is only a singular drop point, which is in the tundra zone. The tundra is cold with low amounts of water, but otherwise it is the safest area of all of Elysium. With that said, it's not safe by any means. Before I start, I want to talk about the latest update a little bit, and then the DLC. So the latest update adds Tier 5 technology, as well as hostile NPCs, and hostile robotic drones. And Tier 5 technology utilizes oil, uranium, and lithium. Now, a lot of the Tier 5 technology is somewhat restricted to just Elysium alone. The resources of oil, uranium, and lithium are not available on the other worlds, so there's very little. There's some, but there's not a lot in the Tier 5 technology that you can use without the DLC. So the DLC adds those 3 resources in, as well as the Elysium map. And let's drop. Down we go. And cheers. So I mentioned in the plan, but the plan is to essentially rush technology. I want to rush to get a fabricator so that I can do the first operation mission. And that means I'm going to be relatively single-minded, but there's a few side objectives that I will endeavor to take on as well. Current priority is setting up basic shelter. Tech tree. I'll be picking up stone knife, wood bow, stone arrow, bone arrow, campfire bedroll, okay. I just spent a bunch of the tech blueprints. And I could immediately start getting tier 2 and tier 3 and tier 4 stuff, but I don't really need to because I don't functionally, I don't have the ability to make that stuff yet. All right. So we're down. I'm going to hide the mission because it won't be relevant to me for a while. And what we're going to want to do is to make some basic tools and to get a shelter going. Because the animals here on this map are like not even a little friendly. There is a lot of dangers in the tundra, and then the storms in the tundra are also pretty damaging. They're pretty hellish. So I'm going to want to be as prepared as I physically can be for it. So we're going to go and get a basic set of tools and then rush to get the crafting table as fast as we can, as well as the ability to make clean water and make more efficient oxygen. Do I have a spot picked out? Yeah, I guess. Mostly just like I'm going to a cave. Because I don't need to build a shelter from scratch. The cave that I'm going to be living in the tundra. So the eventual plan is to not live in the tundra. So while I'm in the tundra, I don't intend to build very much. I intend to absolutely minimize everything I'm doing, rushing so that I can get to the oil fields. Is there a way for a character from another map to get to Elysium? Yes. All you have to do is go to your drop pod, return back to orbit, and then go to Elysium. You won't have anything that isn't a workshop item, but that's just the way the game works. Alright, so here is our campfire, knife, and some more arrows. So for me to get a crafting bench, I'm going to need the 20 leather and wood. Wood is really easy to get, so it's really the leather that's going to be an issue. And here in Elysium, not all critters are really easy to kill. So I'm going to need to... Oh, I'm overfiring. I'm going to need to pick my targets carefully. So that's a gribbler that I just killed. Gribblers are like angry spider monkeys that throw stuff at you. And these are storkas. Storkas are like, lynxes, maybe? That usually fight in packs. They're pack animals. And that's why I'm having to fight 3 of them. Okay, well, maybe we just got the leather I needed, because I was immediately thrown into 4 fights, back to back to back to back. But as you can imagine, it's not... Oh, so that over there is a Drossic. Drossics are like antelope. They are non-hostile, and I do not need to worry about them. Alright, the struggle here is to find the storkas that I killed. Because, oh, I'm getting some prime meat. Nice. So that's one of the next things I want to do, is to cook as much of the prime meat as I can, because prime meat will offer me a lot more HP. So that's another gribbler. Gribblers are not dangerous, really, at all. They're sort of like the easy to kills, if you will. Whereas you can definitely get swarmed by storkas and get taken down. And they're certainly... Storkas and gribblers are not the strongest things here in the tundra by any means. There is way, way worse. And I have to keep an eye out for them, lest I get destroyed. So before I get into any additional fights, what I want to do is start cooking the basic meats I have for the HP bonuses. Now, because I boosted to level 30, I do have, like, a lot more health than you would normally have as a level 1. Obviously. Because I picked up a bunch of talents that give me, like, max health. But, with that said, it doesn't hurt to have more. Plus, the food will give me other bonuses as well. So here's the stringy meat. I'm going to switch what we cook next. So stringy meat, of course, is stam, HP, attack speed, experience gain. Now, if you're wondering, there's basically no point in me shooting at the Drossic there. Drossics are pretty tough, have a tiny hitbox because they have a tiny head, and they're running really fast. So I'm just going to save my my arrows. I'd be chasing that thing for hours. I also just picked some carrots. The tundra does have, here, switch to the carrot cooking. Does have a variety of vegetables available, so you'll be able to find wild berries, carrots, yeast, wheat, some squash, although it's rare to find squash. Stuff like that. Bye-bye, Drossic. And Drossics are non-predators, they're herbivores, they'll avoid me. Okay. I'm going to go back to trying to make my crafting bench now that I have a barbecue carrot. So I'm going to pull the campfire, grab everything out of there, because we'll, especially the charcoal will be useful later. There was some unskinned stuff here. Honestly, it might take me, here, turn on my torch. Might take me longer to physically find the corpses than just to hunt something new. Because, like, they're pretty challenging to see. Alright, and that is a skulk. Skulks are pretty slow, but they're very tanky. They're sort of like a drac or a wolf, if you will. And they don't give any... They give a lot of bone, but no, like, wool at all. Or fur, rather. And I'm not that interested in fighting them as a result. As they're, like, effortful to take down and not resource-rich to skin. So killing gribblers for now might be the way to go. And they're pretty freaky looking things. I mean, they're small, but they're pretty hideous. I ran out of stone. You know what? I'm just going to carry this gribbler so I don't lose it. Now, one of my favorite enemy types got added in. Like, it's the coolest enemy that I think Icarus has. And it is native to this biome. And I would love to hunt one. They're called slinkers. And it's because they are, they're stalking ambush predators. They will try to stalk you and only attack you from behind. And if you spot it, they will usually hide and disengage and then continue to stalk you. And they can be pretty challenging to actually take down because they're trying to evade you and only ambush you when you're, like, not looking. Which is really, really cool mechanic. Alright, in terms of my crafting table, I need 3 more leather. And Glitch, thank you for the chair. I also know that I'm gonna be low on water. The water around here is, like, dirty, but it's not, like, sulfuric acid dirty like it was in Volcanic Prometheus. So it is drinkable. I just might get dysentery, but the dysentery won't kill me. Just inconvenience me. Alright, I'm gonna grab this gribbler. Come on, let me pick you up. Because I'm really close to a skulk, and I don't really want the skulk to get me. I could beat the skulk, it's just, like, not worth the arrows and time and effort, as I was saying. Alright, I do now have the leather needed. Perfect. So crafting the crafting bench. And the intention here is, with the crafting bench up, I'm gonna get the oxite dissolver with oxygen and water bladder. Stone furnace, anvil, iron pick, cooking station, and then back in the lower tier, let's go with bone armor, and the water purifier. Cool. Alright, yes, let's keep moving in this direction, and we'll happen upon a cave. And I'm consuming the wild berries for my hydration for now. And then I'm just, like, shoving oxite into my, like, suit's oxygen bag for oxygen for now. Obviously, that will be improved. Alright, there was another gribbler over here. And a lot of my progress is going to be restricted upon how much leather and bone I get. Did you just sneeze? Swear to God, that thing just sneezed. What, you heard me talking about you? Okay. Heading... Where am I? Okay, I know where I am. I'll go this way. Just making sure there's no slinkers stalking me. Okay, Gribbler, Skulk, Gribbler. No problem, I can go down there. Wyland, thank you for the resub. Welcome, welcome. So I'm going to avoid the Skulk because I don't really want to get in a Skulk fight. What do we got here? Another Gribbles? Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to trigger their, like, attack animation. Because they hang off trees, one cool thing that they do is if you piss them off and they're hanging in the tree, they'll, like, throw sticks at you. Oh, there goes my knife again. Alright, ooh. Some coal. I'll come back for more later. But coal's an efficient way, of course, to cook and make steel and stuff. And here we go. Here's a cave. And this is going to be my temporary abode. I'm picking it because it's kind of like in the corner. And it's going to lower the foot traffic around the base, improving my odds of survival. And I'm going to set up a crafting bench in here. And then I don't yet have the material for a bedroll. So try to get a bedroll. And then once I have a bedroll, getting the oxidizer for oxygen, as well as grinding materials for a water setup and an oxygen setup. Basically, you know, the things I need to survive. Fortunately, with all the stone I'm mining getting myself into this cave, I probably will have the stone to make a furnace. And Maxu, thank you for the resub. Now I'm going to intentionally keep this cave entryway as narrow as possible. Entirely intentional, and that is so that any would-be larger predators are kind of like stuck outside. They won't be able to come in and mess with me. All right, I'm gonna put my fireplace there because I think it's less likely to be stepped on by a wild animal. Put my food in. Yeah, I'm really close to a stone furnace as well. Cool. So now that we have a cave, just check it out. It's a really large cave with water in the back. There's upper sections here, which I don't have access to. There's a deep drill site of copper. Holy hell, that's nice. And I think I would need a thatch ramp to explore more of it. So let's go get my fiber again. Make, let's say, 5 thatch ramps. And then we'll start working on the oxygen and water setup. Oh, there's even a pile of exotics here. Missed me. I'm gonna leave for now, because one thing that's unique about this map type is the orbital exchange does not work. So we have copper and iron. Okay, the basic resource drill sites are here. Sweet, I love it. So your traditional orbital exchange interface does not work in Elysium. Building it will not do anything. It will waste resources, actually. So I take it back. It will do something. It will inconvenience you. Okay, next up. Let's get Ox Bladder and Ox Dissolver. So the current priority is make a bed, ox, and water setup. And it just occurs to me, I'm trying not to use the leather and bone needed to make the bone arrows, even though they're superior, because I think I'm, it would benefit me more to save that stuff for technological progress. Here is my leather. So, back to hunting. And I want to be choosy about my targets, because I don't really want to get swarmed to death. So here's a Storka. And Storkas usually call for allies, but because I one-tapped it, it didn't. This Stork is drawn to the Gribbler's corpse. But I don't know if it can climb. Oh, it can. Hello. And that's one of the issues of leaving, like, cadavers or carcasses everywhere, is it will just attract more predators. And one thing I will say, and this might be a balancing thing, because I know this just came out, but parts of the world in this map have... Because I've played this before. Obviously, I'm not going in blind. Parts of the map here have such... Uh-oh. It's just the Gribbles. Okay. Parts of the map have such an insane, like, animal spawn rate that you can be... If you leave a few carcasses out, you can be overwhelmed, like, in a ridiculous amount very, very, very quickly. Alright, I just lost my prime meat. There we go. Eat one of everything. So I need 6 more fur for the bedroll. And then most of everything is just leather requiring. For the oxygen bladder, the water skin, etc. Oh, and being the stable genius that I am, I put away all my stone and then broke my knife. And the only issue with this cave that I chose is, like, there's not a lot of natural stone around it, it seems. So that Gribbler, I should have just grabbed it and carried it with me. But obviously I'm gonna have to, get some stone for tool repair. There we go. And I am looking around the map in a paranoid fashion because I really just don't want apex predators to get the drop on me. Or storms. Storms would be bad too. Let's see if I can get the bedroll before the storm ramps up. Andrea, thank you for the resub too. And Maxu, I appreciate you guys. Hey Gribbs. There we go. Alright, I should have enough at the end of this, I hope. Yep, I have 23 fur, which is enough. Perfect. Alright, let's take shelter. I don't really want to get storm damaged. Yeah, they walk very slow, but they can jump far. They are powerful in the trees, but not on the ground. And I'm just gonna keep feeding this thing. Perfect. Okay, so I think actually, yeah, I'll do because I can just keep collecting berries for now. Well, no, stop. Let me go back and make the bedroll first. Oh, I can still afford the dissolver. Given that there's a storm, I'm going to do a stone furnace. And the reason for this is, normally I would do the oxygen dissolver first. But, I'm stuck in the cave for now because of the storm, so I might as well take advantage of that. Being stuck, that is. And, you know, get some ores smelted. So iron ore is going to be the first one. We're going to need a whole bunch of iron ore to make an anvil, so I can start to rock iron tools. Now, the other thing to note... Oh, you know what? I already picked up iron pickaxe, but, like, there's not a good reason not to just go straight to steel. So I should... I mean, it's not that much of a waste of a point. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go straight to steel pickaxes on the anvil instead. Because iron ones are just not nearly as good. But we still need to... Oops, wrong thing. We still need to smelt a whole bunch of iron anyway. To make the anvil and stuff like that. It's also late enough for my character to go to sleep and to force it to be daytime. So once I have a little bit more stuff in the queue to be smelted, that's exactly what I'll do. Once the storm passes, I'll go to sleep. Because tomorrow, it's back to trying to get the leather for the water and oxygen setup. Because this is the most inefficient way of getting your oxygen by, like, a landslide. And, it's not a way I want to use for long. Can you eat the mushrooms? Yes. So the issue in this game with the mushrooms, though, they're a delicacy. They spoil really quickly, and they only stack to 10. So they're great. They actually count as, like, a meat more than a vegetable, which is interesting. So I could pick the mushrooms, and one of the reasons why I'm just, like, leaving them here is they're really good emergency rations. Leaving them in the cave because they won't spoil means that, like, if I'm ever very, very hungry, I just pick a mushroom and eat it to avoid starvation. So it's really in my advantage, I think, to just leave them as is. Okay, the storm's almost over. And I have a bunch of iron. This is probably enough iron for the anvils. So the anvil's going to be, for reference, the anvil's going to be 40. And I already have the other materials. And then if I want to make steel, I'm going to want a mortar and pestle with a little bit of silica ore. Alright, before I go back out there, let's repair all tools. And head to sleep. I did get bacterial infection in my lungs because I'm in a cave. It's fine. I acknowledge. Alright. We have the tail end of the storm happening right now, but that's not going to stop me. So what I'm after right now is the ability to make the oxygen bladder and the water skin, which is like bone and leather. I'm actually not going to skin this pygmy lop. I'm going to carry it. The reason for carrying it is I have the talent point, which... Strong shoulders. I get 5% movement speed. So at the moment, let me hide the overlay so you can see. I'm moving at 443. Holding the pygmy lop, I move at 461. So I actually move faster with a lop on my hip. Which is why I'm going to not skin it. Also, it's tiny and it wouldn't really skin for much anyway. Well, I think my leather issues are getting... Oh, I'm out of arrows. Quickly solved. Can you use the ice for water? You could, but you have to melt it into something. Into a container. And it's probably going to be easier for me just to make a filter in the back of the cave. Because the back of the cave has cave water. And that's going to be a far less labor-intensive way to get my water. All right. I did want a mortar and pestle. I don't need a lot of silica for that. I'm sure I'll be back for the rest of it once I'm making cement or glass or whatever. Let's go. I'm going to actually throw this. Let's go. See if this was enough for what I need. So I've got the furnace. Here's the dissolver. And it's not enough for the ox bladder. All right. We'll keep hunting. I'm also out of berries for both food buffs and hydration. Noted. And I'll put the ox bladder or oxidizer right there. So we're going to need sulfur and oxite to get that working. The other thing I wanted to make is the mortar and pestle so that I can make steel blooms. Because in 3 iron ingots, I'll have enough for... I'll have enough for, you know, the anvil. Okay, that's another lot. Oh, there's a tusker over here. So tuskers are kind of like buffalo. There's no point in me hunting it right now because tuskers require you to have a like a metal knife to skin them. So I don't. I have a stone knife, so I wouldn't be able to even skin it. But they're a great source of bone, leather, and wool, or fur rather. Once I have the ability to skin them, which is something I will do. Hello, you're being... Oh, bye-bye. I'm fighting you! There goes the knife. And I know I have a talent point. I don't feel the urgent need to use it. So I need 30 leather for the ox bladder. I have 16. As a stopgap measure, I'm just going to shove oxite in and then collect berries for hydration. And that's going to keep me well enough alive. Venturing too far from my cave does carry risk. The further out I go, especially if I'm like going biome transitioning, but the further out I go, the more dangerous it'll get. Oh, the other thing is, all right, I'm going to mark this down real quick. I'm using IcarusIntel.com as I reference in the details, but my cave has iron and copper in it, right? So let's denote here titanium. Oh boy, okay. Now, I don't intend to live here forever. Like this, I'm not going to be making a permanent base, and also silica. I'm not going to be making a permanent base here. But it could be an issue that I struggle to find enough titanium for progress. So having a known spot for titanium is amazing. One thing I have noted is titanium is dangerous to come by. Not hard to come by, but dangerous to come by. I say that intentionally. The areas in the game that have titanium are not areas that are easily safely traversed. And I'm also going to use a little bit of my leather to make a suture kit, just in case I get a deep wound. I think that's a useful insurance policy. Alright, leather's up to 19, need 11 more. They have such small faces. Some of the enemies' hitboxes, like, especially like scorpions, it's like you have to hit them in the eye, and their eye is like a pixel. It's like not reasonable to go for weak spot hits on scorpions most of the time. And we do have a hit bar over here. What are you? You are a Drossic. No point in hunting you. My leather's up to 23. Okay. What might be in our best interest is for me to go back to the anvil and for me to make a, oh, Vespers. Ugh, no, thank you. So that's an Arctic Vesper nest. It's full of guano and also really angry, like, Arctic bats that will swarm me and peck at me, and they're really hard to hit. Unless you have a flamethrower. Animals are pretty good at hitting them, but, like, as the player, I suck at it. I'll just say it. They're so hard to functionally hit. So, in order to progress, it might make more sense for me to get a better knife so I can hunt tuskers. Because I've been not finding a lot of good game around here, and I don't want to travel too much farther from my base, because I would risk exposing myself to more threat or danger. Also got a new prime meat off that pygmy lump. Which maybe that will replace my carrots or something. I don't know yet. Okay, anvil time. So we need a little bit more wood for the anvil. Got it. And cheers. Thank you for tuning in to Icarus Elysium, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow prospectors.